Welcome to another episode of Scheels Hometown Heroes. This episode takes us out west to Montana to capture another story of service and sacrifice. Join us as we continue our mission of sharing the stories of our nation's true heroes while helping them heal in the great outdoors.
I nominated my dad, Tom Griffith, to be the Scheels Hometown Hero because of all of his service to the country and the fact that he left it a better place.
When I was 12 years old running the farm, I decided there ought to be something better than the hot, humid climate of Kansas. So I went in the living room one day waiting for dinner to be served and looked at this fancy book about the mountains of Colorado in the Northwest and what it would be like to be a ranger. That's for me, I said. At 12 years old, I made up my mind and it worked. I got my degree at Colorado State University, and guess what? That's where I ended up, Forest Service, as a ranger, among other positions. Korea was going on, and in those days, everybody had to register for the draft, so I did. As long as I was doing my education and all, I was deferred. Well, as soon as I got out of that, then I knew that I would be drafted soon, so I chose to enlist in the Navy, the US Navy, and entered Officers Candidate School. And because I already had a college degree, well, then I was, after school, was commissioned as an ensign in the US Navy and went on to serve for 3 years. I was Combat Information Center. I was on an attack cargo vessel, the USS Seminole, AKA 104, which is an attack cargo vessel, and it's part of an amphibious operation. So in those days, you'd have these landing craft, and this ship would carry quite a number of those landing craft, and then we'd offload them off the cranes into the water and circle around, get organized, and make our amphibious landing. You usually have either Marines or Army troops that you were taking into the beachhead. Well, and you know, I was already in the Forest Service when I went into the service. So, in fact, I'd just gotten my full-time appointment with the Forest Service, United States Forest Service. Had just gotten married, and so that was my primary career. I wanted to go back to the Forest Service and work in timber management, range management, recreation, and all kinds of land resource management. When I was in the outfit, I got in the backcountry a lot because that's where the action was. I discovered a lot of problems by being in the backcountry. Finally ended up, when I retired, as the acting forest supervisor, which is, in other words, supervisors administering all the ranger districts in that particular national forest. So altogether, I was in the United States Forest Service for about 32 years.
With Tom's extensive experience in the Forest Service and his love for the mountains, it was a natural fit for him to volunteer with the Backcountry Horsemen of Montana.
Tom Griffith's been with the chapter for probably just about when it started. We started the chapter in '85, and Tom and Gene were very active in the club. He was president in '95. He did a lot of trail work. He did a lot of packing clinics. He was very involved in the club for a number of years.
The Backcountry Horsemen do all volunteer work. They get some grant money occasionally, but by and large, they're all just footing the bill, their own stock. They're going up here doing maintenance job that I used to do when I was a seasonal back in the earlier days of the Forest Service. So we're fortunate to have an organization like the Backcountry Horsemen. One of the other volunteer organizations I was with the Optimist Club of Bozeman, Montana. And when we started on this was just an open field that had originally been part of a ranch. Convinced the state of Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks to donate the land to the Optimist Club, and then in turn turned it over to the city of Bozeman. And it's developed to this day into a very magnificent park.
Tom's service to our nation and the communities he lived in truly spans a lifetime. To this day, he continues to serve others, making the world a better place.